What's up, everyone? This is Alex from Father's Love, Father's Heal. It's a beautiful day in March. We just had about 3 inches of snow on the ground. That's all gone, and I have a lot of garden chores to do. I gotta switch my compost. I'm gonna take whatever I have left from last year, put it on my beds. I wanna use all this leaf mold here, put that on the beds too. Take all the leaves that I have on the beds, put that in here, let that start breaking down. I wanna turn my compost, take all of the compost I've been putting in the bin for the whole winter, move that over to the other compost bin, and just tidy up the garden a little bit. Rake up a lot of the big clumps of leaves, let the soil start getting some sun, start warming up, and within a couple weeks we should start seeing some of these plants start coming alive. This is a fun time of the year. If you don't garden, this is the perfect time to start. With the food prices the way they are, with the uncertainty of what's going on in the world, you need this security of being able to produce your own food, because you never know when you can't go to a grocery store, or if you go there, there's nothing there to eat. So this is really important to start learning, or if you are gardening, crank it up, because this year I'm going big. I already have about 70 soil blocks in the greenhouse started. I'm probably going to start about another 200 within the next couple of weeks, and this whole garden is going to be one big food production zone. Last year I couldn't do too much because starting my new business, which is Ask Alex Woodworks. If you're looking for any handcrafted wood items, check out my website as askalexww.com. I make some cool stuff, and if you're looking for something to be personalized, just reach out to me. So last year I had to work on a business, so I kind of neglected the garden, but this year I'm pulling back some of the debris and the soil quality from years of me putting straw, years of the leaf mold. It's really breaking down, and it's really turning to really quality soil. So now I don't have to plant just in my garden beds. I can plant anywhere, because anywhere I look and I pull that soil back, as soon as I do, I'm seeing about 5 or 6 worms crawling right back into the soil, which is a good sign. That means that soil is alive. So I'm just gonna do some chores, and you can follow me around as I do some chores and get my garden ready for this season. I am really excited, and I hope you are too. Get motivated and get gardening. Let's get into it. Got everything cleaned up. I put some leaf mold everywhere, all my raised beds. I ended up having to go to the compost center and buy some leaf mold, because it doesn't go as far as you think. I had a big section of it, and I burned through it pretty quickly. So I got all the beds, all the leaves cleaned up. This is where my corn goes, and I do the 3 sister method here: corn, squash, beans, and got a contorted mulberry right there, and then I have Egyptian creeping onions right over here, and all these trellises are where my tomatoes and different vining plants go. These 2 beds have garlic, and this year I'm gonna try interplanting lettuce and kales with the garlic. And here is where I'll put my broccoli, cabbage, and I'll plant different things in there. I'll do onions here, and all along my fence I'll just plant vining crops, cucumbers, anything that grows up, melons, I'll grow all that up. And then now, because my soil is so good, I'll be able to plant all through here in the ground, different, whatever I want, broccolis, cabbage, because I'm going to fill all this in. The whole thing I want filled up. All these all here are more raised beds, and I just plant, all the other stuff in here. I'll plant Swiss chard and just fill it all up. Here I filled my bin for the leaf molds, and I'll just be filling that up throughout the season. Now this here, in case you're wondering what this is, I have to make 1, 2, 3, I have to make 6 more. I'm gonna try this year to keep my blueberries from getting eaten by the birds. When I just lay the netting on top, it gets just tangled in, and then I can't really ever get it out. So this is just gonna sit on top, and when I want to harvest some, I just lift the whole thing up and set it aside, pick what I want, put it back up, and that'll keep the birds out. I have blueberry plants all through here. These are all blueberries, so I'm going to try that this year, see how that works out. And so all on the ground here, which they're starting to wake up a little bit, are all strawberries. So I'm gonna have a whole carpet of strawberries. And this side of the garden, I'm trying to keep it more like a forest floor. So I'm not cleaning up the leaves. I'm letting the leaves fall, let them just decompose, and have more of like a forest floor on this section of the garden. And I have asparagus all through here, so I'm hoping this year I get some asparagus I can harvest. 2 years ago I planted the asparagus, but the first year grew up, the second year barely grew up out the ground until the end of the season. So I'm hoping this season the roots are strong enough to push out the ground and I can start harvesting some. And these are different elderberries here. My grapes, and here I put grapes. I'm growing up my apple trees. I put grapevines, and there's a video I made about that. And on this side of the fence here, I have kiwi. I planted 2 kiwis, and I'm gonna let the kiwis take over for this fence. And all through this part is all raspberries. So there's raspberries through this whole section that I plan on letting spread out and take over. So that's the cleanup I did today. I'm gonna go work on the compost bin. Okay, so this side of the compost bin, I took all this compost out. I had maybe 6 inches of compost left in here, and put all that on the raised beds. So all my beds have about 1.5 inches of compost, and then about 2 inches of leaf mold on top. So all those beds are ready to go. By the time I plant in them, it should be broken down enough just to plant right into it. So I usually do that in the beginning, before spring even starts. Once the snow melts away, I do that, get that done, and start letting worms and break that down. So that way, when I'm ready to plant, it's ready to go. So I'm just gonna move this bin over to here, because I've been putting food in here the whole winter time and it's filled up, and I'm gonna move this so now I can start letting this break down, and hopefully by fall this will be all broken down, ready to go, and then I'll just put all my food in here. So let's do 100 times speed, and let's move this. Man, I did that quick. I work out to, like, I don't know, 3-4 times a week, and every year, beginning of the garden season, there's a garden in shape and there's a gym in shape, and I am not garden in shape, so I gotta get back in shape in the garden. So I'm done for today. I've done enough. I moved all from here to here. This was broken down a lot more than I thought it was gonna be. So once I get some grass clippings, I'll mix that in here, and within 2 months this will be broken down to usable compost. And then I'll put all my yard waste, food waste, grass clippings, all that stuff in this bin, and then just keep the cycle going. And now always gives me a steady flow of compost. So I'm zone 6B, and it's the garden seasons. It's right around the corner. So get motivated, start your seeds, get your garden prepped. It's almost go time. Give me a like and subscribe. I'll see you at the next one.